On the quiet evening of September 15, 2023, Captain Ethan "Hawk" Wilson walked into his suburban Texas home expecting peace, but what he found was a scene that would rip apart everything he believed about love, loyalty, and trust. His wife, 31-year-old Sarah Thompson, lay lifeless on the living room floor, blood pooling beneath her, silence echoing around the room. What unfolded next would expose a shocking web of secrets, forbidden love, double lives, jealousy, and a pastor's desperate attempt to protect his reputation and marriage. This is the story of the murder of Sarah Thompson, a tragedy fueled by fear, betrayal, and hidden desires. Sarah Thompson was born in 1992 in a quiet Texas town, a place where traditions run deep and expectations ran even deeper. She grew up ambitious, intelligent, and determined to build a life larger than the boundaries of her upbringing. In high school, she was a star athlete and top student, eventually earning a scholarship to the University of Texas at Austin, where she graduated with honors in marketing. Her talent led her to a prestigious New York marketing firm, where she quickly gained a reputation as a rising star in the industry. But in 2016, Sarah's world shifted forever. During a charity event in Manhattan, she met a decorated Marine Corps officer, Captain Ethan Hawkins Wilson. Strong, charismatic, purpose-driven. Their connection was instant. Ethan, known to his military friends as Hawk, had spent years in combat zones, rising through the ranks with awards like the Bronze Star and Purple Heart. He was a hero in every sense of the word. And to Sarah, he was perfect. Their love grew quickly. Their marriage in 2018 appeared flawless, two beautiful people admired in their community, always smiling, always giving back. To the outside world, they were the golden couple. But inside, Sarah was fighting a battle she had never shared with anyone. A battle against herself. Sarah loved Hawk, but something inside her remained unresolved. Since her teenage years, she had felt an attraction she was too afraid to admit, attraction to women. Growing up in a conservative environment had forced her to hide those feelings, bury them, pretend they didn't exist. But secrets always find cracks to escape through. Sarah began meeting women secretly, using fake profiles, hidden usernames, and carefully planned encounters. She hid everything meticulously. She deleted messages, used alternate phones, and changed her schedule. Hawk never suspected a thing. But each secret meeting added a heavy brick to the mask she wore every day. She loved Hawk. She loved their life. But she also loved the freedom she felt when she was with women who understood a part of her she had never spoken aloud. And then, in 2022, she met Emily. Emily Harper looked like the perfect pastor's wife. Graceful, polite, devoted. Married to Pastor Theo Harper, a highly respected leader in their church. But perfection is often a disguise. Sarah first noticed Emily at a church event. Soft-spoken, elegant, confident. Their eyes met across the room, and Sarah felt something ignite, a spark she could not ignore. They started with friendly chats. Then coffee. Then long walks where conversations drifted from faith to fears, and eventually, to desire. Their secret romance grew quickly, intense, emotional, and dangerous. They traded handwritten love notes hidden inside hymnals. They met in quiet parks, behind closed doors, and in borrowed moments between church events. For the first time in her life, Sarah felt seen. Truly seen. But Emily's world was far more fragile than Sarah realized. And soon, everything began to unravel. Pastor Theo began noticing changes in Emily. Late-night calls. Secretive messages. Longer outings, with vague excuses. New clothes. More makeup. At night, she would sit on the edge of the bed texting someone, with a smile she couldn't hide. Theo's instincts told him something was wrong. So one afternoon, he followed her. He watched her meet a woman outside a coffee shop, someone he recognized. Sarah Wilson. Theo's heart twisted. He suspected an affair, but an affair with a woman. He went through Emily's phone while she slept. And there it was. Months of messages. Love notes. Plans to leave their spouses. Humiliation turned to anger, anger that metastasized into rage. Theo made a choice that would change four lives forever. On September 15th, at around 1 p.m., Pastor Theo drove to the Wilson home. He claimed he only wanted to talk. But he arrived with fury simmering beneath his calm facade. Sarah answered the door, unaware of the storm waiting to explode. She welcomed him inside, offering him fruit as a polite gesture. But Theo wasn't here for politeness. What began as a calm conversation quickly spiraled into shouting. He accused her of destroying his marriage, corrupting his wife, invading his home and his faith. Sarah pushed back, refusing to be shamed for who she was. She stood firm, insisting Emily's choices were her own. Something inside Theo snapped. In a moment of blind rage, he grabbed the metal fruit fork from the tray and thrust it into Sarah's abdomen. Sarah collapsed, shocked, bleeding, gasping. Theo panicked. He didn't plan this. He didn't expect this. He tried to revive her, but when she went still, he assumed she was gone. He fled the house. But the tragedy wasn't over. Minutes after Theo left, Emily arrived. She had come furious, ready to confront Sarah, to end their affair, to stop the blackmail Sarah had begun out of desperation. When Emily stepped inside, she found Sarah bleeding heavily, barely conscious, struggling to move. For a split second, Emily considered calling for help. But then she remembered the photos Sarah threatened to release. The messages. The threats. The possible destruction of her reputation and her husband's career. Fear twisted into something darker. Emily knelt beside Sarah, not to help her, but to silence her. She placed her hands around Sarah's neck. And squeezed. The final moments of Sarah Thompson's life were spent staring into the eyes of the woman she loved. When it was over, Emily wiped her hands, steadied her breathing, and left quietly, hoping the world would blame someone else. At 6:15 p.m., Hawk returned home. What he saw shattered him. His wife, the woman he adored, lying lifeless on the floor. He cried. He screamed. He called 911 with shaking hands. Within minutes, his home transformed into a crime scene, uniforms everywhere, flashing lights, cameras, investigators. Detective James took charge, determined to piece together the truth. But the truth was far more complicated than anyone imagined. Hawk was cleared quickly, his alibi proven through gym logs and restaurant footage. But something strange emerged. Two visitors had entered the house earlier that day. Pastor Theo. Emily Harper. The detectives questioned Emily first. Her story was shaky. She claimed she walked in, saw Sarah dead, panicked, and left. But why didn't she call 911? Emily had no answer. Then they questioned Theo. Under pressure, he confessed immediately to stabbing Sarah. But something didn't add up. The autopsy revealed. Sarah didn't die from the stab wound. She died from strangulation. Theo hadn't killed her. Someone else had finished the job. Forensic teams found DNA on Sarah's neck. The match came back. Emily Harper. Detective James realized the affair had spiraled into obsession, control, and ultimately, murder. Emily was called in again, this time with the evidence laid bare. Cornered, broken, exhausted. She confessed. Every secret. Every betrayal. Every moment that led to that tragic end. Emily Harper was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Theo faced charges for assault and obstruction. Hawk buried his wife, still struggling to understand how a life so perfect could crumble so violently. And the community, once captivated by the golden couple and the perfect pastor's family, was left questioning how much they truly knew about the people they worshipped, admired, and trusted. Because behind closed doors, behind smiles, behind prayer and perfection, lived secrets powerful enough to destroy everything.